Hello, everybody. Welcome to Double Take Reviews for the month of December for GamingLag.com. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Chalice, alongside my very best friend, Matt Bird.
How's it going?
Little bit of pretty good. Little bit of a different intro there. I just kind of wanted to lay it out there.
Didn't like it as much.
Didn't like it as much?
I like the... I'm Mike. I'm Matt. It's more upbeat and cheerful to start it out.
It's all right. Truth be told, I screwed up at the first, and I just went with it instead of having to try and re-record again, because once we get onto that swing, we end up recording 18 different things over and over again until we get it right, and it's just a waste of time. And during the holidays, whereas you work retail and I work at the post office, time is pretty much precious to us at this time of year. But we got a great show planned for you. For those of you who don't know, Double Take is GamingLag.com's review show. Every single month we will basically come to you on YouTube and talk about all the games that me and Matt have been playing over the last month. The reason we call it Double Take is because this is an actual look back to the games after they have been released into retail without having review copies, and we don't put numbers on anything. We just sort of talk about what we like, what we don't like, and who we'd recommend the games to, things like that. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Matt, why don't you start? Because I want to hear about Just Cause 3.
So, I was really excited seeing all the trailers and everything for Just Cause 3. All the explosions and everything. Looked like blow the whole world apart.
Michael Bay made the game.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It's been very hard to not deviate from the, well, they tried to put a story in it.
The story in quotations.
But to actually unlock like your flight suit and your wingsuit, I guess, not flight suit, and things like that, you actually had to progress sort of into the story, and that's a bit tedious. I was just hoping to jump right in. I remember in Just Cause, I don't remember doing that in Just Cause 2. I remember just jumping into explosions and doing whatever I wanted.
Just Cause 2, you had the parachute and the grappler right off the bat, and the only things that you started to get a little bit more of were like better vehicles and some bigger weapons, but that you could order. You could still find them in the world if you ended up fighting an enemy that had that kind of stuff, but to order them from your black market person, yeah.
Well, you do get the grapple and the parachute, but you have to do a couple of missions to get the flight suit.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it, doing the open world stuff after getting the flight suit. Don't really care about the story or the side missions, because that's not why I wanted to play the game.
Sure.
But the controls are sluggish. I have the sensitivity turned all the way up to maximum in order to feel like I actually am getting any response out of Rico. But besides that, it is fun. Is it something that I would suggest to everybody? No, especially if you like Grand Theft Auto. Do not play Just Cause 3, because that's the controls I was expecting, especially where Square Enix also does Tomb Raider and stuff, and the controls in that are phenomenal. So
yeah. So is it sluggish because they're not sensitive enough, or are they sluggish because the reason I wanted to talk about Just Cause is because I haven't played it yet myself. I have basically deemed this my January game until I actually read what games are coming out in January, and I have no idea when I'm going to play it. But I've heard bad things about the console version, that the frame rates are bad. So is that the reason the controls are sluggish, or is it just the controls are just not sensitive enough for what you prefer?
I haven't actually experienced any frame rate issues yet.
Okay.
It's like when you're controlling the wingsuit, when I'm pressing down to go up, it's almost at the very last point that he's actually starts to come back up. He's not doing the up and down, which I expected out of the wingsuit.
Okay.
And the turning left and right is very, very slow and sluggish. Based off the explosions, the trailers, the gameplay footage we watched, I was expecting much more faster response time.
Yeah, the trailers definitely make it look like you can grab and do things very, very quickly. If the controls are sluggish, that worries me a lot, because that's something that I didn't have a problem with in Just Cause 2. So it doesn't feel like that?
No, it doesn't feel like Just Cause 2, and then after Grand Theft Auto, kind of... Yeah. Grand Theft Auto 5 broke me for that type of game. So
yeah. All right. Well, fair enough. So who would enjoy this game? Would you give it a full-fledged recommendation, or would you just... who would like this game? Tell me.
Anyone that did play Just Cause 2 will like it for the same crazy antics. Anyone that likes games with a lot of Easter eggs and stuff, because there is a lot of Easter eggs, like is it black and gold or whatever, that stupid dress controversy that's actually in the game. So that stuff's really cool. So that stuff that you're looking for, yes, Just Cause 3 is for you.
Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about Xenoblade. Matt has heard my frustrations over headset because... All right, let me just start this. I am actually going to have a discussion in January with a couple of people in the community on a different audio thing, and we're going to talk about open world games and stuff. But I first want to start on Xenoblade with its open world because it is absolutely beautiful, and it is one of the best open world, like alien world. Feels very Avatar-esque, where everything is beautiful, but everything also wants to kill you. And
so it's Australia.
Basically, yes. Okay. But the scale of the enemies is fantastic. It is absolutely crazy to be walking around and seeing these little, like, I don't even know what you call them, like dog, cat, big ear things. And then you see right beside them something that looks as big as a Brachiosaurus and stuff like the scale of the enemies are really cool. And the scale actually does mean something because you can be a level 11 and go up and fight a level 11 normal sized creature. And it's not too difficult. It's something that's pretty easy. But if you go up and fight a level 11 very large creature, yes, it actually has some abilities that will kill you. It can like flop on you and stuff. And it like literally that's what it does. Like all four legs go out and he falls on you. And it can kill you and stuff, so I love that. But here's the problem with the game. It doesn't tell you a goddamn thing about any of the systems, and yes, you will eventually learn them, and sometimes, yes, there probably are some things that I might have accidentally skipped through, like explaining me, hey, you can go into this menu and do this and stuff, and I accidentally skip it and don't realize that's what it's saying or something like that, but I don't intentionally try and do this. So I was about 17 hours in the game when I discovered where you could fast travel to specifically, because originally there are these little mining things all over the map, and I thought that that's where you could fast travel to, but turns out that's not the case at all. You can fast travel to anything with this microscopic little orange square on the map. Any of those you can fast travel to, and that blew my mind because obviously now I don't have to do as much running and stuff like that, although the running feels great and the combat system is very cool. Combat system is a little bit weird, though, for anybody who has never played an MMO, because it is a target, and then you're doing your abilities, and then you have extra abilities you can select and click on, basically, and just push a button, and they do it. So for that type of thing, some people may find that a little bit boring. But yeah, I don't even understand how a game like this beautiful and so many things that I love about it, and I don't know if I've given up yet or not, but I've probably put 20 hours into the game, and I don't feel like I accomplish anything. It is definitely a true JRPG where you have to grind levels in order to, because a level difference of like more than 3 levels makes a substantial difference in how difficult a quest is. But you can grab quests and not know what level the quest is, run all the way out to the quest, find out it's 5 levels above where you are, and then you have to go and do a bunch of random side things, which is fine, but I wish it had an indicator and stuff like that saying, hey, this quest is, level 22, you're only level 17, you're probably going to have a hard time with that, Also, when level 60s drop out of the sky and kill me, that's not fair. I just want to put that out there. Because I'm running around, I just port somewhere, and then these mech fucking things drop down, and it's... and then you're dead. So, anyway. So, actually, I would be very hesitant to recommend this game to everybody, because me being a JRPG, like, I normally love them, like, Persona 4 Golden's my favorite game right now. It's daunting to try and get into that game and actually play it and enjoy yourself, because the tutorial is almost 5 hours in my opinion, and you're still learning stuff as you go. It's hard to recommend. The game is great. I think I agree with the review scores and stuff like that, but I would be, if you're not into JRPGs like even a little bit, or even into RPGs at all, stay very clear of it. And if you're trying to dabble in a JRPG, there are way superior JRPGs to play. Really quickly, I wanted to touch on Freedom Wars.
Okay.
Vita game free this month with PS Plus subscribers. I dived into that. Really cool Vita game. I look forward to playing more. I just got to the point where I can play with other people. Combat system's really good. World's really cool. You start with a 1,000,000-year prison sentence, and the game is actually really funny. You're trying to whittle down your sentence until you're actually free. But it is actually hilarious. Like there was a part in the game where it asked me, "Hey, do you want to lay down or whatever?" And then you're like, "Yeah, I guess I'll take a break." And then you lay down, and you're, I don't know, random robot person who makes sure you follow the rules goes, "You're actually not permitted to recline," and then it adds 10 years to your sentence. Things like that. Like, it's actually very funny. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. If you have PS Plus, go try it if you have a Vita. Really, really, really fun, though. And I'm definitely looking for some people to actually get some groups and play whenever I have time. Unfortunately, seem to have very few of that. Very little of that. Now, Matt, I have this downloaded on my PS4, and I was very excited when our friend Nanu sent us these codes that would work for it.
And I was too. And I got really excited when I first turned it on. And so what we're talking about is Drawn to Death.
Looks really cool.
It does. Loaded it up, and it's a really phenomenal the way that the game starts. When you actually load it up, it's a classroom. And you're actually doodling on the page. That's where it is. And there's this little frog tutorial guy who's hilarious and makes fun of you and bashes on you. And the tutorial is actually very good on how it walks you through. You get to actually choose a free character and a couple free guns and everything.
Okay.
The animations are hilarious. The different moves that you can do. You're a punk rocker for the one that they do in the tutorial. And then that's where the game kind of sucks.
Oh, yeah?
20 minutes this morning, 20 minutes this afternoon, trying to get into an online match, and not enough people online playing this game.
Okay.
So can I recommend it to people? I have to
It's not a full game yet, so we can't... They need to fix that, obviously.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, an early stage beta or something like that, or beta phase 3 or something. I don't even know what it's called, but... I'm looking forward to seeing if their servers run and stuff. Obviously, there's definitely going to be issues. It's a free-to-play game, and they're probably trying to work that stuff out. Hopefully, they fix it when the game launches and stuff. But right now, I'd probably steer clear of it, I guess, because it seems like a big waste of time. I'm sure they're...
If you can get your hands on the beta key, definitely try it so that there's more people actually attempting to get into the beta so that you can try it online.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Gauntlet. Which we're going to spend about 10 seconds with, and then we're going to move on to something else. So me and Matt both played Gauntlet. It's another free game this month for PS Plus, which is awesome. And tried that for about 2 seconds and realized that it's sort of a Diablo clone, with the exception that it is a kind of twin-stick shooter-based kind of idea thing. And then we played some fucking Diablo.
Yeah.
A lot of Diablo. The last, 3 nights straight we've played Diablo.
So much Diablo, power leveling the friends, so everyone's there, so we could actually play on Torment, which is still kind of easy right now.
Yeah. To give you an idea, we started 2 days ago, and we all started basically from scratch except for Matt, and all of the people that we've been playing with are now level 70. But the reason we bring up Diablo is because we want to talk just briefly for a few minutes about what games you should play over the holidays, because gaming during the holidays, for some people, it's the same, I guess. You go and you can just lock yourself in a room and play games. But for some people, you have so many people over. You have all these suppers to go to, all this other things. So what games are good to play when you have all this company over, or as I, use as excuses and stuff like that? And that's one of the games that I would recommend, because I completely forgot how awesome the game was, and they've changed so many things that make it amazing. The leveling is a lot shorter now, which most Blizzard games are kind of like this, but World of Warcraft is like this, things like that. And the end game is really where it starts to get interesting, because you get the max level items, and you can do adventure mode, and you can do all this stuff. Very, very cool, though. So I would recommend Diablo. Matt, would you agree with me?
Definitely Diablo. That's the top game on my list right now for anything to play.
Yeah.
When it's actually broken the addiction out of Fallout that I had, or even the Destiny Sparrow Racing. So, and I still get the the benefits of being able to play online with friends and stuff, like I did Destiny. Speaking of which, that would actually be another game, just because during holidays where you have family commitments and things and you still want to hang out with your friends, I would also suggest Destiny is a good online game. If you can get even an hour at a time, you can run a nightfall and still talk to your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There isn't anything new in that, but Diablo and Destiny, just so because you can do a lot in a little amount of time. So.
Yeah, and I'll mention this really quick to compare those two specifically. Destiny you can get really cheap now, even if you get the Taken King version, which comes with the original game. You can find them on sale for like $40, which is a shit ton of content for that. Diablo, you can find it on sale, but it typically retains its value. It's normally about $60, $65, but you will always have that game. I trade in games and stuff sometimes just because this year I was unemployed for a while and I was trying to be very cautious with my money. And Diablo is one game that I will never ever trade in because I always go back to it, and I guarantee you will too. Another one I want to mention, and it's really, really cheap, is Rocket League. Go and play that. That game is something that you can jump in really, really good if you wanted to play online, although I don't believe there's any split screen with it. But Rocket League is ridiculous fun that you can have with anybody that's online, or you can just have exhibitions and play against the computer and practice your sweet moves in your sweet cars that do the rockets and shoot out bubbles behind you. I have to put this out there, even though it's a game that came out last year, I believe, Mario Kart 8. If you have a Wii U and you don't have this game, that's probably unlikely because I think they sold the exact same amount of copies of Mario Kart 8 as they have Wii U's out.
I think
so. But Mario Kart 8 is awesome. Download the DLC if you haven't. 8 new tracks. It's basically half the game again, and the tracks are awesome. The cars are awesome, all that stuff. And that's something that you can play split screen, which makes it even more awesome because everybody knows, at least what my Christmases used to be, is family comes over and then you have those cousins that you don't really like and they all come over and you're just like, well, what am I going to do? Well, I guess I can play Mario Kart 8 and I can let him play Mario Kart 8 on the same TV. I don't give a shit what he's doing. I'm just going to do what I. That's what I'm talking about. And that's Diablo too, by the way. Although Diablo, word of caution, if it's an annoying cousin and they just keep going into the menu, that stops your gameplay as well. So that could cause fights.
Another game that's like that to delve into, again, last year's game, but if you don't like that annoying cousin, you can actually beat the crap out of them in a game and not get in trouble. Super Smash.
Yeah, Super Smash for Wii U, and there's actually new DLC that just came out too, so you can get Cloud and his level, and all like Ryu and Bayonetta's coming and all. Yeah, I mean, I know Nintendo games aren't cheap. They're always going to be the same price, but I mean, those are games that you can play. They're all fantastic, and I have a feeling we're going to be playing Diablo the whole time. Yeah.
I think so.
I don't really have anything else to play. I feel like I have given up on Xenoblade because I've put enough time into it now that I don't think I want to continue. But we'll see. But I think that does it for us for the month of December. This has been Double Take for GamingLag.com. We are going to talk about our game of the year, and obviously this is a review show. It's kind of weird not to talk about the game of the year, but we have a primary podcast called the LAGG Podcast. It is every single Monday, and you can go and get that and watch that episode. It will be next Monday, the 28th. We'll be talking about that. Go to our forums, GamingLagForums.com, and go and vote for your game of the year. We're going to take that poll, and we're going to talk about it and disagree, agree, all that good stuff. Have some good discussion about that.
No one's going to agree.
No one's going to agree. Of course not. That's the beauty of video games, that there's so many different things. And I think that's it. If you like our content, though, please go to patreon.com/gaminglag and become a patron. Unofficially, we are looking for 1,000 gamers to give us $1 a month each. And trust me when I say that the more money we have, the more we are going to give back, the more content we will make, the more draws we will do. Starting in January, we will be using the money that we currently have to do draws. 2 draws every month. 1 draw will be exclusively for patrons. So if you're a patron, you don't even have to worry about doing anything, and you will get a chance at a prize, which is actually really good right now because we only have 7 patrons, which is pretty awesome. Pretty good chances. And if you send in your topics to the Lag Spike or Last Word podcast, you'll also be entered into the second draw. Yep. I think that's it. Gaming Lag out.